Hello, welcome back. So in this series, this is basically the first step of build and deploy your own portfolio website. So the first thing we need to do is create your content. So just a brief layout of what we're going to cover in this video is basically focusing on our content. The thing is you really need to brainstorm your content before you actually start building a website, because our content is what's being displayed, not the way it's styled. So go ahead and work on this content worksheet that I will provide for you in the mini course. The next thing we'll work on is creating your logo in Canva. It's really great to actually have a logo that displays you. Go ahead and use the templates that I provide you from the mini course, because it's just painless if you do so. And then we'll use Python to make your logo into a favicon, because it's really great to have it in multiple sizes when you're viewing a website on different browsers as well as different devices. Finally, we'll resize your logo to use it in your website using Python too. Then we'll decide on your color scheme, what colors are going to represent your brand, basically. I will provide you with different resources like colors. There's also Adobe color scheme, which I'll also show you how to work and use it. And then finally, we'll go ahead and create your project mockup images. If you work through the portfolio website worksheet, I do have a section where I help you decide which projects are best and what you want to exhibit. And so I provide you with some mockups in Canva to help you capture those projects. All right, friends, if you're ready, let's go. When you are going to build your website, you have to focus on your content. So I have already created this spreadsheet here. It's for your portfolio websites worksheet. Basically, we need to drill down into what your portfolio is going to look like, what you want to present to the world. So that's why I want us to really focus on first the content, because the content is the meat of your website. So if you want this worksheet, definitely sign up for the mini course. Again, it is pre-sale. I am working on this mini course at the moment, so I am dripping content. But if you want to start doing this right now, I recommend signing up for that. Okay, so we're going to drill down, basically figure out what the goal is for your portfolio. Really think about what you want to do with this. If it is just to redo one of your old, websites, okay, perfect. If you're starting from scratch, really, drill down to why you want to do this, okay? And then have that goal in mind as you're going through each of these content sections, which is the headline, the project showcase, and about you. Okay, so really keep that in mind. All right, let's go on to the next thing, creating our logo. So again, if you signed up for the mini course, you will have access to these assets that I've built out. So these are templates. I have project mockups already created and selected. You just choose from one of them that suits your fancy and go from there. It's just kind of like to guide you. All right, so logo, let's dig into that. So in this mini course, I am actually going to build something myself too. So I have a little project that I am building at the moment, and it's going to be called Pinkfy. All right, so I'm going to imagine this person's name is Pink, like the singer, and their last name is Fi. But actually, it's going to be kind of an agency. But we're going to look at it as a person, as a being, right? So one of the things you can do, and I did an example here. If you look at the template, you'll see that the person's name, their initials is CD, right? So I just took some really simple shapes and created their initials out of it. So you can do something like this. Another thing you can do, which is really cool, if we do, let's see, look for woman portrait. Sorry if I didn't found this immediately. Let's do man portrait. Here we go. Here's a good one. Okay, see. Let's drag that down here. Okay, so say this guy here, he wants to use his actual photo of himself as the logo, which is kind of fun actually. What you can do now, this particular photo has the background removed, but if we chose somebody, oh, that's a good one. He's kind of funny looking. That'd be great logo. So another thing you can do is just take a photo of yourself that you want to become a logo, and you can do that. And then if you have the pro version of Canva, you can actually remove the background pretty easily, and then this could be your logo, which is pretty fun. Okay, so that's another thing you can do. But if you don't, you can do other things. I believe there's some ways to get around removing the background, but I'm not going to get into that. But basically, you just want to create a logo. So you can, again, do something kind of like this, where you just make shapes, or, you know, just be creative. And really what you should do, honestly, is make sure that the image gets as close to the edges as possible. Like this guy, I should probably make him as big as I possibly can, but keeping his hands within the square. Probably have to finagle it a little bit more. There you go. So that's pretty decent. Okay, so you should probably do something like that. But yeah, try to, when you're creating your logo, to get the image or whatever you're drawing inside here. So I'm actually going to create another one. Let's delete my guy here. So I need elements, and what I'm looking for is actually phi, which is a Greek letter. So let's go ahead and see all of them. I want this one. Let's change it to pink. All right, because the name of my person is Pink Phi, so we're gonna just find the phi icon, or the Greek phi, and fit it in there. Okay, perfect. So I got it as close to the edges as possible. Width-wise, it doesn't, but it's fine. All right, so what do I need to do? I need to go ahead and share this, download it. And now if you have multiple pages in here, you can go in here and only select the one that you want. Done. And I want a transparent background. That's very important. Make sure you have transparent background. Again, they kind of lock this down, but honestly, if you just do the trial of Canva, I believe they give you like 14 days free or something like that. They always have some type of deal where it's like 7 days or 14 days. And you could just do this really quick and then cancel if you want to. But it's really not that expensive per month, especially if you're planning on continuing on and building your digital presence online, especially if like you're going to be creating. So I hit the download button, by the way, to download it. Okay, so there's my logo. So I mean, if you're planning on, you know, doing any Instagram or Twitter or anything like that, basically Canva's the way to go as far as anything that's social media based. Just saying. This isn't an ad for Canva, okay? All right, so we have our logo. Now, another thing I didn't cover was actually colors. I have kind of already decided my colors. One of the things to really think about, you know, you can do different things. There's two places I go to, and that's Coolors, Coolors is kind of a play on colors. But also, I also look at Adobe Color Wheel. So Adobe Color Wheel is really great to kind of like figure out, you know, color harmony and things like that. Coolers is fun in the sense that when you start the generator, you can basically just hit the space bar and it changes colors, which is pretty interesting, especially if you don't have an idea of what color palettes you want or anything like that. So for example, you can click on the actual hex code here and type in a hex code. For example, for that pink I used for my logo, it's 1F4 is this fuchsia. So I already know I like the fuchsia, so I can actually click this lock and it'll lock it down, and then I can basically hit the space bar and this will change and be kind of, you know, not too matchy, but the colors typically go pretty well with whatever color you lock down. This plus button, you can add a color. You can also delete a color. So you can add as many colors as you want. I actually have 2 colors here that I have, and that is an orange. So it's FA541. So I can lock this one down, and now these 3 colors will change. So I can kind of get an idea of, okay, what kind of scheme do I want it to look like? And then if you want to, you can also save your colors. You do have to sign in or sign up to actually save, and I think it only gives you, I think, maybe 7 or 8 palettes that you can save or something like that. Don't quote me on that. It's not a lot, but if you do pay for the Pro, you can save as many as you want. But again, this is not to sell anything to you, but I'm just saying, like, there's a way to get this started without going too crazy with buying things. All right, so color wheel, I like Adobe Color Wheel. It's really awesome in the sense that you can you get really good options here for the color harmonies. So here I have my orange that I picked out already, and so I can go and see, okay, what kind of colors, if I want to say, you know, monochromic or triad or complementary, you know, so you can kind of see it kind of changes, which is nice. Again, if you add the plus, you can add another swatch, which I did down here, so you can add another one if you want. So it kind of stays within like a nice color scheme, and you can kind of see how it kind of pans out. I actually like the square because I have my orange and I have my fuchsia, and I also have some other nice colors that I can use that go really well with these. And I actually do have this already saved. So again, you can go up to 10 different colors, but really what I kind of want you to focus on is your 2 main colors. Those 2 main colors that really capture you or that you like. All right. So they're pretty nice. Okay. So another thing to really think about, and I didn't add this to the outline, but you do also need to think about your fonts. This is actually a really great font generator. It's from Brandmark. I found this a long time ago, but let's say there is a font that you really like. For example, I do like Montserrat. It's one of my favorite ones. So I can, you know, say, okay, I want Montserrat, but you can do different variations up to 13, right? And it gives you kind of a nice, you know, example of what kind of fonts go well together, and you can kind of see it, like preview it as it would be in, say, a website. Another great thing about it is that it takes you directly to Google Fonts, which is amazing. So you can say, if I like this crimson text, I can go ahead and get the font and I can download it with all its variables. This one only has 2, but say if it was League Spartan, which I think has a lot. So League Spartan has, over 8. So I can download the whole entire font family. And again, I recommend you go ahead and if you don't have the font family that you like on your machine, get it from Google Fonts, download it so that's on your machine. So when you start actually editing the template, you have your fonts there on your machine that you can actually have. And another thing about getting the fonts, you can also do the embed code too. which I do recommend when you do find some fonts that you like. It will show up in here as like you've bought it, but it's not really buying because these fonts are free, but it will save the ones that you have either hit download or embed. So you can always come back to Google Fonts and find the embed code, because we will use that, by the way. Okay. So the next thing we need to really think about is kind of getting our images ready. What you want to do is go ahead and head over to Google Colab. And we're going to actually convert these images, or our current icon image, into a favicon, which I mentioned is basically this image here. This one's actually a better idea. Actually, all of these have these favicons. They're really tiny icons that appear in your browser's tab. And it makes your website so much cleaner if you have it, you have your own icon. And plus it looks cool too, because, you created yourself. So we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so one thing you can do is you can bring in your images, and Colab will give you a warning saying to make sure that your files are saved elsewhere, because the files will be deleted when the runtime is terminated. So when you close this Jupyter Notebook when you close your notebook on Colab, it will delete all your files. So when you do this, make sure you download your file once it's created. Okay, so what we need to do is import PIL from image. So I'm going to import that library. And then what you have to do is basically we're going to convert the PNG that we created in Canva to an icon. And so how we do that, I just basically have the sizes that I want as a list with tuples of the width and the length. So I have 16, 32, 48, and 64. You can add more to this if you need it, but these are pretty typical for different screen sizes and different devices. So I'm just keeping it this, but again, if you want to add more, you can add more to this. Just add, comma, and then add the tuple. Okay, so we have my function here. So it's convert PNG to ICO. I'm going to bring in the image file and then the sizes. And in this case, I just set sizes to a default of 48 if it is not specified. And then we open the file with image open, and then we save the image, and then we give the image a name. In this case, it's going to be just icon.ico. You can name it something else. It brings in the sizes, the format, and the quality. In this case, it's going to be 90. And if you have any question about anything, you can definitely hover over, and gives you a pretty nice definition of what everything is. So I'm not going to really go into definition of this library or things like that. If you want more information, definitely go over and look at image. Okay. All right. And then, so in this case, I want to convert my PNG to ICO, but then I'm bringing in my image name. In this case, it is logo template -2.png, and I want all these icon sizes here. And then all I do is hit run. So you can actually hit this button here, but I like to use shortcuts. So I'm running it, and we have an issue. Oops, I misspelt it. Make sure you spell things correctly. Just FYI. Okay, everything looked great. Oh, and there's my new icon. Wonderful. So what I want to do is download my icon. Well, there's my icon right there. Okay, and now the next thing I want to do is I want to change the size of my icon to be a lot smaller. Okay, so in this case, my icon needs to be 48 by 48. right, so I changed it to 4848 because this is the icon that's going to appear in the upper left-hand corner of my portfolio website. So I want it to be smaller because right now the size is humongous. Yeah, it's huge. So I want to make it smaller. Now you can always change the size to something else if you want. Totally up to you, but that is what I'm changing it to. Okay, so again, this method or this function uses the same library, the PIL, the image library. And so all I need to do is make sure that my image name is the same. And then I hit run. And this output would be output image pixel resize. That's going to be the name of the file once it's done. Oh, and there it is. So let's go ahead and download that one. And let's go ahead and look at it. And we see it's a lot smaller. And if we look at my original logo, it's huge. So that's why we need to bring it down. Okay, so the next thing I want to cover is, let's go back to the project portfolio mockup. Okay, so these portfolio mockups have already been sized to the website. So there's literally, it's plug and play. All right, so literally all you need to do is bring in either a screenshot and put it into these basically placeholders for these mockups, and it will do all the magic for you. I do have some uploads. Here we go, we'll do this one. So there we go. So I literally just drag the image. So I download the image. So you can do uploads. You can download, you can use Dropbox, Google Drive, Box, whatever, or you can literally upload the files yourself. And then you literally take it in there and drag it inside. And then you can move it around if you want. You can make it a little bit bigger, you know, get it to look how you want it to look. And there you go. It looks like you took a picture of your laptop with your whatever portfolio piece that you wanted in there. Okay, so that is all, friends. Hopefully you found this video helpful, and I hope that you can get off on the right foot. And in the next video, we will go into how to edit the template and getting you started in creating your website. Again, content is king. All right, so really focus on completing your website worksheet, because if you can get this down, that's all we have to focus on after this video is editing the website to look how you want it to look. Okay, all right. So if this has been helpful for you, please hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you want to be notified, hit that bell. All right, till next time, friends.